This is Morning Juice. Sports, insight, and great storytelling. Starring Bobby Carpenter and Jeff Tito Thitoff. It's time to attack and dominate.
Attack and dominate on a Monday. Tito with you here. To my left, Bobby Carpenter. Right across from us. We love seeing his face. It's Bodie Wells. I'm surprised you made it to work today, Bodie. The roads are terrible out there.
Hey, I almost didn't. I almost called you guys. I don't know who's running the board today. I'll see you Tuesday.
Yeah. Big show lined up for you today. A little Bill Ben around the sporting news. We have obviously NFL talk, college football talk.
Oh.
Kind of a big game tonight. We'll preview that a little bit later on in the second hour of the program. We've got our final four teams scheduled playing in the NFL after yesterday's games. On Saturday, we had Broncos over the Bills, Seahawks over the 49ers. And then yesterday, I think C.J. Stroud just threw another interception. But they were still in it, though, despite, I think they had 5 or 6 turnovers.
Oh, yeah, they had a bunch.
He had 4 interceptions in the first half.
Oh, you got to pick 6. That's tough to overcome.
Yeah.
It's really tough to overcome statistically. So
Good for Braves.
Yeah.
Another win. And he sets up, nicely for him now because Bo Nix
broke his ankle.
Yeah, broke his ankle. So I
Put
don't know.
your gear on.
Who's playing? Is it Stidham playing quarterback for them? Is it
Yeah.
Jared Stidham?
Jared Stidham.
I don't think that's going to strike fear into anybody's hearts over there in Foxborough. And then yesterday, Rams over the Bears. Last night, I should say, 20-17 in that one. So OSU men got a big win on Saturday.
Rams that game was unbelievable. And
That
just
one?
like
I was going to talk about it the second hour. We can talk about it some more. I was trying to get you through to this date in history because I'm sure you've got a robust list.
it'll be good. But yeah, I mean that was a tremendous game as well.
Yeah.
Caleb Williams, super high ceiling, super low floor.
That pass he made.
He'll keep you out of it.
That pass he made on that play where he tied it up was amazing.
Yeah, I mean it was terrible fundamentally. Like,
Yes.
There's no way you would ever coach a quarterback to do anything like that. And so, it won you the game. And then in the overtime, he throws you an interception, which loses you the game. So, there you go.
So, OSU men got a big win on Saturday against UCLA.
Is that a big win?
Any January win for a Buckeye basketball team in the last 10 years have been huge wins.
Because Mick Cronin didn't sound like he was all that excited about it.
Is he excited about anything ever?
No, I don't think he is.
Diebler was asked after the game, "You guys put more emphasis on this?" He said, "Every game's a big game in the Big Ten."
Wow.
There you go. That's the hard-hitting stuff.
That's
that you listen to coaches' press
Put more emphasis
conferences
on
for.
this. I mean, we got to win, dude.
That's a tattoo on the small of my back with that phrase. That thing does something there. OSU women play Minnesota Tuesday. OSU women play today at noon against TCU. That's the 14th ranked Buckeyes against 10th ranked TCU. Do we still say just Buckeyes, or do we say Lady Buckeyes still? I know for a while, used to call the Ohio State Lady Buckeyes.
I call them Lady Buckeyes or the women's team. I mean, just to delineate.
Yeah.
There's got to be something that delineates it.
I don't know. I didn't know. For some reason in my mind, I think a lot of the nicknames.
The women's team, I don't care.
Women's teams. So I'm saying like in the country, they're like, it used to have a female nickname as part of it, based off the male one. Like, the Delaware, I think, used to be the Peacocks, maybe, and then the women's team was the Hens. Something like that. Maybe I'm wrong on that.
That's amazing.
I never
What's
thought
the female version of the Buckeye?
I don't. The fact that we were gonna was that Delaware that you just pulled up?
I think it was it's the Blue Hens. I think
the fact that we just pulled that out that
football season must be getting over.
It's a little deeper than where we needed to go.
I had a professor once say that she was a good teacher, but say that it should be called the MNBA.
Oh, okay.
And WNBA and like the LPGA.
Yeah, right.
Should also have the
Yeah.
MPGA. That one. I don't know if that landed.
That's okay. Bobby wants us to keep going with it. I get the sense. Jackets host the Senators tomorrow. And in the NBA, the Cavs host OKC at 7. Yes, they're undefeated since making the change.
Yeah.
So see if they can keep that up. They beat the Penguins, I think, in overtime over the weekend. Or
Shootout Saturday night. Yep.
Got to get 2 points and give up none in that one. That's okay. Anyway, like I said, Bill Bender will be up around 6:23, but right now, Bob makes us smarter.
Time to get smarter. Morning Juice presents Today in History. Here's your professor, Bobby Carpenter.
All right, work your magic, Bob.
Oh boy, it is Monday, January 19th, the 19th day of the year, 346 days remaining in this 2026. This date, 1861. Georgia joins South Carolina, Florida, Mississippi, and Alabama in seceding from the Union. This date, 1920. U.S. votes against joining the League of Nations. Little isolationism there post-World War I. On that same date, the ACLU, the American Civil Liberties Union, is founded. 1937, Howard Hughes sets a new record by flying from Los Angeles to New York City in 7 hours, 28 minutes, and 25 seconds. The quickest that had ever been done to that point. And then 1953, we think the Super Bowl draw is a big number. 71.7% of all U.S. household TV sets tune in to the I Love Lucy show to watch Lucy give birth.
Hello, Ethel. Ethel, will you do me a favor? Could you and Fred come up here for a few minutes? Well, the doctor said it would be any minute now, and Ricky's driving me crazy. Yeah, he keeps staring at me like I'm going to explode any minute. Yeah, well, come up and treat the whole thing very casually, will you? Okay, bye-bye.
Treat it very casually. This date, 1970. Easy Rider. The Easy Rider soundtrack is certified gold. 1972. Sandy Koufax, Yogi Berra, and Early Wynn are elected to the Pro Baseball Hall of Fame.
I guess the first thing I should do is thank everybody who made this day necessary. I want to thank the Yankees and the Mets, the only two organizations in baseball I worked for. I would like to thank all of my loyal fans who supported me all these years. I hope they are proud of me today. Also, my friends who came to share this day, I want to congratulate all the men who are being inducted here today. And last of all, I want to thank baseball. It has given me more than I could ever hope for. And I hope that when I'm through with this game, I will put something back. Thank you very much.
I love his one line where he said he didn't say half the things he said.
Nobody goes there anymore. It's too crowded.
Yes, that's exactly right. Berra managed the Yankees to the 1960 World Series, or maybe 61. Anyway, they lost, and they fired Berra. This is all pre-Steinbrenner, but still, even after making the World Series and losing, they fired him.
Well, I mean, you got to win.
I hear you. Maybe it was 63. Okay, yeah.
There we go. And that is today's Baseball Minute. This day, 1974, a big day in South Bend. Notre Dame snapping the 88-game win streak at UCLA.
Notre Dame 71, UCLA 70 with 6 seconds left. Into Walton. He can't score. Cernovich, Myers, Shoemake. It's all over. Notre Dame has won the game. The number 1 ranked UCLA Bruins have been upset by the Irish of Notre Dame. 71-70, the longest winning streak in collegiate sports history has ended where it began 3 years ago. Unbelievable. Notre Dame, number 1 in football, now laying claim, number 1 in basketball. Same two teams next week in Los Angeles. For Rod Hundley, this is Dick Enberg. Good afternoon from South Bend, where Notre Dame has defeated UCLA 71-70.
Oh, great job there by Digger Phelps, Bodie, getting it done.
Number 1 in football and men's basketball, Bob.
There we go.
I'll be dead before that ever happens again.
No, probably more on the basketball side. Football, you got
agreed.
a chance.
Yeah, agreed.
This date, 1991. Janet Jackson's Love Will Never Do hits number 1. Second most favorite of the Jackson kids? Famous, I mean.
Yeah, I would say second. LaToya probably third. Jermaine 4.
How about Tito?
Tito 5 probably.
Tito 5.
Yeah.
Tito's and soda, maybe. Bring it all together.
I didn't even know Janet Jackson was Michael's sibling until just a few years ago.
What?
Yeah, I know.
Come on, dude.
I know. When I learned it, I was like, wow, how about that?
How about that? They look pretty similar.
Hey,
I think.
I can't, Michael, his looks changed a lot over the years.
So did Janet's, I think, maybe
True.
as well. I think she
I just
may
remember
have,
that halftime show.
her and JT.
Yeah.
There we go. Go big or go home. Maybe we'll have another one here in a couple weeks. 1997, Madonna wins Best Actress in a Golden Globe for her performance in Evita. Some holidays or some birthdays today. Edgar Allan Poe, the famed poet, born on this date, 1809. Only lived 40 years.
Ooh.
Not a long one for that guy. Baltimore Ravens, named after the Raven. Nevermore. Janis Joplin, born on this date, 1943.
When he sang the blues, feeling good was good enough for me. Good enough for me and my Bobby.
There we go. One of my faves. Really good. Born on this date, 1944, two-time Coach of the Year. Coached in 4 Super Bowls. Never got a win, but 200 career NFL wins as well. Mr. Dan Reeves.
In the third quarter, the revived Dallas offense had done everything but score. As the fourth quarter
as a
began,
player.
that was about to change.
Oh,
The
way back.
Cowboys have it at midfield, facing 2nd and 5. Meredith on a pitch out to Reeves. But this one's going to be a halfback option. Rensel all by himself takes it in for the touchdown, a 50-yard strike as the Packers were caught napping.
When we pitched it out and I was running with the ball, I noticed both the safety and the corner both coming up, which meant that Rensel would be open. And when I threw it, I thought I had a chance to overthrow it, but the wind was into our face, and thank goodness, it held it up.
Did you know that he could play for the Cowboys, Bodie, before that?
Yes, because
Okay.
I think with today's birthday, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. I think he passed recently, date-wise, not
Yes.
years-wise. And I think that's when I learned it, so I haven't known that for very long. But
Longer than knowing that Janet and Michael were siblings.
actually, I think I knew the Jackson siblings before Dan Reeves played for the Cowboys.
Okay.
Dan Reeves, also their uncle.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. Dolly Parton turning 80 years old today.
Jolene, 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 Jolene. Please don't take him just because you can.
She's how old? 80?
80 years old. On the nose. 1946.
If she called me, I'd still pick up the phone even at 80. Her
There
being
you
80,
go.
I'm still I got to make sure I say this right. I'm still
Intrigued.
Intrigued. There you go. I was going to say something that was going to be very crass, and I'm glad I didn't.
It's turning 69 today. Longtime NFL running back for the St. Louis Cardinals. Finished up his career with the New York Giants. 10,000 career rusher. In the Super Bowl 25 MVP, Mr. Otis Anderson.
Parcells rewarded one of his players with a rare Super Bowl opportunity.
I never thought I would get a chance to play, just being with those guys and being in the huddle. And when I had a chance to go on the field, they all looked at me and said, "Hey man, we're gonna get you in. Just come on." So I was very happy.
There goes Otis Anderson. He's got a touchdown. There's Parcells' payback to O.J. for being patient.
Anderson's touchdown was the final statement of the Giants' Super Bowl dominance.
The Super Bowl champions are the Giants. The Giants have accomplished something that many people thought they would never see.
O.J. Anderson, you and the New York Giants have just won the Super Bowl. What are you going to do next?
I'm dedicating this win to our troops.
Yeah. Forget Disneyland.
Do you know what troops he was referring to with what was going on?
I was hoping it was our troops in America.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Well, our troops, but not troops like currently. It was right at the beginning of the first Persian Gulf War.
Okay.
It just transpired before that, so.
That's the one that I watched from a hospital bed
Yeah.
in Fort Knox.
Thitoff bailed out of his PT. Fabricated some injury.
They weren't very kind when you were sick in the Army.
It's good. Neither were they in the NFL.
If you had a fever, they wake you up every 2 hours and make you drink a huge thing of ice water.
Yeah, good.
Really?
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Is it just about hydration, or is the coldness of the water?
I think it's supposed to be both.
Okay.
and maybe the discomfort of what's going on, so that you'll get your butt out of there.
Get back out there in the field. Don't
put your gear
don't
on.
put your gear. I got no time for people.
No time for quitters.
No time for quitters.
One of my favorite Reds made the Rec Specs famous. Mr. Chris Sabo, Reds third baseman, turning 64.
Since 54. Well hit ball by Sabo, carrying to the track to the wall, and Cincinnati leads it 1-0. Sabo cracks one over the fence. That's the fourth Cincinnati hit. He corks another to left field, sending Ricky Henderson back, but not far enough. Another home run for Sabo, and it is 5-2. A two-out home run makes it 5-2.
Cheater.
Chris Sabo?
Yeah.
How so?
Got caught with a corked bat.
So did Albert Bell. A lot
Also
of
a
guys.
cheater. That's what I'm saying. I know they're not steroids, but I think his bat exploded. And like a bunch of Super Balls came out of it.
Okay. Won the World Series with the Reds in 1990.
I know he did. I was very happy.
I thought he'd be your guy. Would have had a birthday today. He was born on this day, 1969. 6-time first-team All-Pro, 3-time second-team All-Pro, NFL Hall of Famer, guy who I loved watching when I was younger, Mr. Junior Seau.
Seau's career included 56.5 sacks, 1,800 tackles, and a spot on the NFL's All-Decade team of the 1990s.
He's brought down on a big stop by Junior Seau.
That career ended in 2009, and his life tragically ended 3 years later at age 43.
Today is a very sad day for the city of San Diego.
But Seau's legacy lives on across the league he dominated for so many years, and now in the Hall of Fame.
One of the great ones.
Indeed.
Turning 52 today, Mr. Frank Caliendo.
But what are we talking about, man? What are we talking about? Practice. We're talking about practice, man. We ain't talking about the game. We're talking about practice, man.
He's 248 pounds. You look at him as a player, he can come off the edge. He does some certain things.
Todd. When you take a look at his production, the SEC as an outside linebacker, playing through an injury 2 successive years, putting up incredible numbers, tremendous motor, can beat you a variety of ways. I think this is a guy to me, Todd, deserves to be a top 10 pick.
The first of those two was him as Morgan Freeman reading, Allen Iverson's practice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He came on with Rothman and Ice, and they have a lot of, there's some stuff in there. It's really good.
He can do a lot, and it's good, man. It is, especially when you don't see the video and you just hear it.
Oh, yeah. What's the most impressive thing to me about it is his ability to oscillate between, back and forth really quickly.
Yeah.
I've seen people that can do a good impersonation. Maybe they can even do a couple of them. But it takes you a minute to recalibrate. Number one, how you're speaking and trying to change the tone of your voice and the cadence and everything else. But then two, the impersonation of actually things like embracing things that they would be talking about and what they would be saying as well, getting that content into your brain. Just so wildly impressive. Wildly impressive. I feel like he probably has to have some real dark demons. Anybody that can jump back and forth like that. I tell people, all actors, they're really good. They're
a little crazy.
They're a little crazy now because you got to be a little nuts to be able to do that. Just the same as strapping on a bunch of armor and a helmet and running full speed into another human being, for no reason other than the fact that you've chosen that as your occupation. You got to have something a little bit wrong with you to be willing to do that.
I think that's fair.
So I just seeing him do that, I was like, gosh, it was always so impressive.
You know what? Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm a little blank in the head. Father? Something about that redhead, though.
This chick's fit for a straight jacket, but I dig it.
I had an imaginary friend growing up. His name was Shiloh.
That's right. Bless his heart. He'd always let me win.
Oh, yeah, I'm a little. Oh. Gosh, it's so
Painting
great.
was a gift, Todd. Taking it with me.
Passing day on this day, 2013, one of the great baseball players of all time, Stan Musial, as well. Some holidays observances. We got a lot today. Oh my goodness. It is, obviously, it is Martin Luther King Jr. Day, MLK Day, as they say, which is always the third Monday now in February. National Day of Service Day as well. National Lucy Day. A little I Love Lucy show. National Popcorn Day. With that, Tin Can Day as well. And those are your historical events, your birthdays, your passings, your holidays, observances for this date, Monday, January 19th, the third Monday of the month, the 19th day of the year, and 346 days remaining in this 2026.
Well done, as always, General. Gives me the opportunity to say, because I know you want more baseball talk, Musial had exactly the same number of hits in road games as he did home games. 1,815 on the road and 1,815, I think, at home. Same exact number there.
Sounds awesome.
You want to guess how many miles per hour I threw that ball that they had one of the, gun radar machines where you can...
I don't know, 63?
1,800.
I topped out at 43.
Oh,
how old were you?
Were you underhanding it?
Saturday.
And you think you could kick a field goal?
Can't throw one, but I can kick one, yeah.
So you're telling me your arm can only move fast enough to generate speed for a baseball at 43 miles an hour, but you think another appendage, your leg, is going to be able to generate enough leg speed to be able to drive a football through there?
Further away.
Was it a strike? Listen, Maddox, he was never going to hit 95. But
yeah, you're right.
He can put it where he wanted.
That's what somebody said when they saw me do it. Hey, that's kind of like Maddox. I said, yeah, you're right, it is. Baker and I both think it was off. I think Baker got to 48.
I had a friend of mine. What do you think the benefit would be of them turning the speed down?
I can't.
They're trying to get you to feel good. Like you go to the Red Sox stuff, you want to have a positive experience. I don't think they're gonna turn it down.
Also, if somebody dialed it up to 98, they'd be like, hey, get your jersey.
You're right.
They're looking.
Yeah.
It's amazing that one of my buddies who I played with, playing with in the NFL, he pitched. I always joked and said it was minor league. I don't know if it was some sort of indie league or whatever. Big dude, 6'6", he's offensive lineman, him and his twin brother. And they both played, I think he played baseball, maybe his brother didn't. And he went to Weber State and he was off for a year. It was a weird story. But he's I'm like, dude, you throw pretty hard. He's I threw in the 70s. All right, that's pretty good. He's like, not the dudes I'm playing. And he told this story. He's like, I get up the pitch. He goes, I throw my hard gas. He goes, the dude's so out in front of me. He's like, that's a hell of a change up. He goes, well, good. The rest of the stuff just gets better.
I got to interview President of Ops, Nick Kroll, for the Reds. And I offered him some fantastic advice. And I told him
more games?
No, it was really detailed. I said,
where else are you going to go?
I said, I think you should probably trade players that aren't very good for players that are really good. I think that's the best strategy.
Fair call.
You should maybe get our payroll out of the bottom third of the league.
Could do that, too. That'd be another way to do it. I told Marty Brennan I've slept with him more than anybody else in my life. That was fun. His wife thought it was a little weird. I know. No, he got a kick out of it. I called Terry Francona the other Tito. So all those things. I made quite the impression.
So you're probably not getting invited back, is what you're saying.
I think you ask a lot of good questions, George. You bring a lot of good points, yeah. Bender's not popped in yet. We'll have to do a wellness check on him. But
he's good. He's on. He just texted me.
He did? Okay.
Need a phone today. So
I got you.
Get him on here.
All right, we'll get him next. It'll be Bill Bender with Sporting News Morning Juice.
New year, new you, new truck from Germain Toyota of Columbus. And the deals are built tough. Drive home the all-new 2026 Toyota Tacoma with 2.99% financing for up to 48 months. Need more muscle? The 2026 Toyota Tundra delivers with 2.99% financing for up to 72 months, or take $3,000 in customer cash. Germain Toyota has the truck and the deal you've been waiting for. Shop today at Germain Toyota of Columbus, where selection, value, and trust come standard. Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road.
We are the keepers of the wild. America's original and most invested conservationists. For more than 80 years, we've been committed to conserving wildlife and the natural landscapes that define our nation. From rugged alpine ridgelines to peaceful tall grass prairies, we've supported the conservation of more than 36 million acres of American wildlands. Our funding has led to cleaner water, fresher air, and improved wildlife habitat. From abundant fish and waterfowl populations to robust deer and elk herds, nothing is more important than maintaining wild spaces for adventurers to explore and wildlife to thrive. We are America's hunters and target shooters, stewards of the American outdoors.
America's hunters and target shooters, along with firearm, ammunition, and archery manufacturers, have invested more than $46 billion to help state fish and wildlife agencies manage and protect wildlife and wildlands across America. For more information, visit outdoorstewards.org.
Once there was a man who couldn't stand.
A mom who couldn't wait.
A scientific community that said it couldn't be done.
And then you.
And then I.
And then we brought neuromuscular disease into screaming color with the Muscular Dystrophy Association.
For 75 years, our voices have thundered through the halls of Congress.
We've willed the impossible into existence.
We've pushed the science,
raised the funds,
shifted the narrative,
and transformed the reality of life with neuromuscular diseases.
For 75 years, we've built communities together,
established the field of neuromuscular medicine,
and made it thrive.
Call that a legacy.
Call it impact.
Call it momentum.
Just call it ours.
Because it's the generations of community heroes that give MDA the strength we have today.
And until neuromuscular disease is a thing of the past, you couldn't stop us if you tried.
Join us and celebrate 75 years of breakthroughs at MDA75.org.
As a teacher or coach, do you ever feel overwhelmed supporting kids' mental health?
Teachers need tons of help.
I had never experienced players being so down that they can't even participate.
It's so important that we are constantly educating ourselves.
It's the same as the CPR class to me. We're trying to save a life here.
The Kids Mental Health Foundation has free tools and information developed by experts. Scan the QR code or check out kidsmentalhealthfoundation.org to get started.
One man is a national champion, NFL veteran, and local business leader. The other man is Tito. This is Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Here's Bobby and Tito.
Here's Bobby, here's Tito, here's Bodie, and now here's Bill Benefit Sporting who's joining us. Bill, good morning, my friend. The question everyone wants to know, how fast can you throw a baseball?
Right now?
Yep. No warm-ups. Just get out there and throw with the gun on you.
Oh my gosh, I don't know if I could hit 60 right now. Maybe. Yeah. I would think I could hit 60. Is that bad?
No, that's much better than Thitoff, who was 43. So
yeah, I got 43 miles.
Believe me, Bill, you're in good shape.
Okay, as long as I think probably 50s though. 60s is somewhere in there, but no, not a warm up throw though. Wow, that would
cold,
be tough.
Man. Went there cold and just went right there. I went 41 on my first pitch, then 43, then 43. So I got better.
Okay.
See, I was getting looser there, right, Bob? Could have another few pitches. Could have got some gas out there.
At least you're consistent. That's all that matters.
Thank you.
Yeah.
This is kind of the uplifting talk I need, Bob.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, Bill, we got a huge game tonight. Well, actually, let's talk a little bit about, just saw you were giving out an award to Clark Lee. Talk a little bit about what you were just involved with, because you're doing this banquet circuit now.
Yeah, well, I wrapped up my term as FWA president and handed that off, but to Shahan Jayaraja, who he's going to do a great job. He does a great job at CBS Sports, but I was presented the Eddie Robinson Award to Clark Lee, and Eddie Robinson III was there. Awesome banquet, and Clark's a really good guy, and we get to talk a little bit afterward. But the thing about it was, I was laughing when you have to talk for like 20 minutes, and when I coach basketball for my daughter, the parents always joke about me ripping the pullover off 5 minutes into the thing, but I couldn't rip the suit coat off. So it was a lot of fun, and I'm very humbled, and I appreciated Clark Lee's a good one. He's going to be good for a long time.
What's going to decide the game tonight?
Mm-hmm. I think right off the top is Miami has to stop Indiana's running game. If Indiana's just able to gash them with Kalen Black and Hemby, it's going to be a long night. And I think they need a quick start just to – I don't know. There are a lot of Indiana fans down here. So if Indiana gets off to a fast start and it snowballs like it did against Oregon, it could be a little bit different. But if Miami can get off to a fast start and make this place a little bit rowdy, and that, you know how it reminds me a little bit of Tennessee, Ohio State, when a lot of Tennessee fans showed up. Mm-hmm. The Ohio State fans that were there were extra rowdy. And I think that's going to happen with the Miami fans tonight as well.
So you said a lot of Tennessee fans, or a lot of Indiana fans down there, rather. With that, like I've tried to tell people, I think that this is going to be a 50-50 crowd, maybe a pro-Indiana crowd. I know a lot of that's anecdotal and trying to parcel it out, but it just seems like there's so much energy behind this fan base that's so large that they're going to find a way to have their team have as many advantages as possible.
Yeah, and I think so. And obviously, and one, like I always do this indicator when we did not necessarily with fans, but at Media Day, Fernando Mendoza by far had the largest crowd around his podium. I mean, it wasn't close. There's a lot of fascination with him, and it's hard to find something wrong with him. That's kind of what I wrote my column about yesterday. I mean, he's just a nice kid, all smiles. We'll see if he's able to do that in the NFL, which I think he will. But teammates like him, and it's a really interesting dynamic that this guy, like, it's a little bit like Tebow was. Maybe a little less, Tebow was very outspoken about his religious beliefs, and that was good. But I think Mendoza doesn't do that as much, but he's just eternally nice. It's really weird. Not weird. I'm like, maybe it's weird in 2026. Nice, yeah, it's weird to see just such a nice person out there in 2026, right?
It feels like, yeah, I think he gets a lot of the Tebow treatment where some people think, I can't believe this guy is this nice. This guy can't be this good. There must be something back there. I think the people said the same thing to you about Tebow way back when. And I'm not saying people hate him, but I'm saying there's like a lot of people just don't buy him, but don't buy into him.
Because we're all cynical. Yeah. I think that's the thing. And I just can't see anything wrong with him. I was very impressed. And then on the field, of course, you're talking about a guy that's getting the ball out fast to all three receivers. He hasn't thrown many incompletions. That's another key to the game tonight. Like, can Miami's pass rush land and throw him out of rhythm with guys like Ruben Bain and Akeem Messidor? I got a story coming a little bit later this morning about the Miami kids from Miami and what it means to them. Guys like, Malachi Toney, Ruben Bain, Mario Cristobal, and, of course, Mark Fletcher's from nearby Fort Lauderdale. So I love that there's a new generation of those guys, and they talked about what Miami meant to them. And, it was a really fun story to write.
That was a big deal. I mean, it seems like Mario Cristobal is kind of galvanized, that fan base, given his ties and his history. But they've had other guys that have coached there or been a part of it in the past. But he seemed to do something, Bill, that, for 20 years they've been trying to bring back. What has been his secret? I mean, is it the recruiting of, South Florida so heavily, just embracing the past? How has he been able to get this Miami team and really the whole program and fan base to a place they hadn't really been, not just with a national championship, but with a level of pride and self-respect as well?
Yeah, the team's made in his image. Their offensive line's very good. Their defensive line's very good. He talks about physicality. He goes away from the whole "the U is back" thing. He's more like, this is present tense, and he says over and over and over again that they're not going to be able to replicate that run in the 80s and 90s. And they are a mix of experience, Florida kids, and then guys from the portal. They're 4 of the 5 guys in their secondary are portal guys. And that's going to be yet another huge key tonight, is how does that secondary hold up without, one of their players who was ejected for targeting. Mario's very straightforward. So he's as much attention as Kurt Cignetti's getting for, all of his quirks and his mannerisms. Mario's pretty intense, right? Like when they clip to him on the sideline, he's very emotional coach. And one of the things I wrote over the weekend is for all the criticism of his late game failures in the past, I mean, they've won 3 games with clutch fourth quarter touchdown drives in each one of these playoff games.
Bill Bender joins us to Sporting News. I know you're down somewhere where it's warm, but just wanted to make you aware there's a weather impact day today up here in Columbus, so it's a big deal. Are you partying with Michael Irvin before the game, after the game, during the game?
How out of place would I look partying with Michael Irvin after the game? No, I do want to see, he's another guy that means a lot to the program. There'll be a lot of camera attention on him and a lot of these. I am looking forward to walking down the sideline and seeing, which Miami legends are in attendance. And for somebody that grew up, watching those Orange Bowl games, is it going to be like that? I will say this, it rained very hard here yesterday. And the humidity after it was like, I'm not saying it's snow, but I mean, it was just like, whoa. And believe me, my wife has let me know exactly what the weather is. So I've been very cautious about what pictures I send home about, my view and all those things.
Absolutely, Bill. I can imagine. Yeah, it's South Florida is not the worst place to be this time of year. Some things going on outside of the game. The meetings with Tony Petitti and Greg Sankey, trying to get this calendar figured out, trying to get the playoff structure situated moving forward. It seems like those talks have just eroded to this point. I know that we've got, the rest of this week to kind of get it figured out, but it doesn't seem like the changes that people are hoping for are actually going to happen.
Yeah, and I think the general feeling here is that it's going to stay at 12 at least for next year, and I don't know where it'll go from there. And when you're trying to meet 16 and 24 from 12, I think that's really hard to come up with a compromise. I think Tony Petitti has done some good things for the Big Ten. I think the Big Ten, obviously has a chance to have a third different school win a national championship in 3 years tonight. I can't for the life of me understand the 2014 format. And I mean, it's almost like you're trying to create 2 different NFL playoffs. What are we trying to do? 2014, as much fun as the regular season is, I still think we're playing too much football into January 19th, which, again, when you turn on the networks this morning, there's going to be a lot of talk about the NFL games, the Rams and the Bears in that game, and Bo Nix breaking his ankle and NFL championship weekend, instead of giving this game the justice that it really deserves, considering the story it's going to be between Indiana and Miami tonight.
Bill, appreciate the time as always. I shouldn't have even made that joke because don't go out with Michael Irvin. Michael Irvin wants to take you somewhere. I just politely declined.
Well, I would be curious. I would absolutely be curious to see what a night in the life of Michael Irvin would be tonight. But I'll talk to you guys next week when I'm home. Thanks so much for having me on, as always.
You bet, bud. Take care. We'll talk to you next week. That was Bill Bender, Sporting News, joining us right there. Coming up next, quick hitters, Morning Juice.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. You don't want to start the new year off hurting. You don't want to start off the new year getting surgery. You don't want to start off the new year dealing with trying to plan something out into the future. What you want to do is get healthy. So what you want to do is go to my friends over at QC Kinetics. Dr. Tesner and his team, the medical pros at QC Kinetics right here in Columbus, they can deliver regenerative treatments that actually help your body repair the areas that are causing you pain. Those achy knees, hips, back, shoulders, whatever it is, they can help you get ready. So instead of those invasive operations, it's going to sideline you all of the early year. Go check out our friends at QC Kinetics and see if they can help you today. Imagine moving better, being stronger, planning your year, doing what actually you want to do. So don't wait. Call 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. They have offices located in Dublin and Gahanna, and they're ready there for your free consultation. So go check them out today.
It's been a real journey since 2014 when I first had my injury. I realized that my home was just not working for me and that it was time to ask for help. Home Store Troops is really giving me my life back. The shower allows me to go in and turn around with my chair, pull down storage racks, automated door systems, hours of my morning given back to me. Adaptive sports are a huge part of my life, a huge part of my healing journey as well. Homes for Our Troops helped with making sure that I had a home gym so that I can continue to train. This past year, I was able to host Thanksgiving in my home. And it was the first time I was able to have my whole family in one place, and I was able to contribute to the meal. There are a lot more veterans in need, and Homes for Our Troops is going to be there to help them too.
Homes for Our Troops builds and donates specially adapted custom homes nationwide for severely injured post 9/11 veterans and enables them to rebuild their lives. Join our mission at hfotusa.org.
My mom is a veteran and she was injured in the line of duty.
I hurt my leg in a training accident when she was only 2 years old.
She had 7 different surgeries over the span of 9 years, and there were tons of complications.
I couldn't be the mom my kids needed me to be.
She missed so much.
After my last surgery, I got an infection so bad I thought it was going to kill me.
I told her she couldn't leave me yet. There was still so much she had to see. I hadn't even graduated.
I'm doing much better now. I may have lost my leg, but I've gained so much. I'm an active part of my kids' lives.
She can kick a mean soccer ball.
DAV's been there for me and my family. Through thick and thin, they've had our back.
Every year, DAV helps more than 1 million veterans like Sandy get the health and disability benefits they've earned so they can achieve victories great and small.
My victory is getting my life back. I got my joy back.
We got our mom back, thanks to DAV.
Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
Attack and dominate, YouTubers. You're locked into Morning Juice.
Morning Juice. Thank you, Bill Benner, for joining us. Let's do some quick hitters.
Morning Juice presents Quick Hitters.
All right, fellas, happy Monday. Start in the association. We had some NBA history made last night in the league as arguably the game's greatest pure scorer ever moved into 6th place all time in scoring history. Kevin Durant, he had 18 points in Houston's 119-110 win last night over the New Orleans Pelicans. Pelicans having a tough year. They are among the worst in the league if they don't currently own the worst record in the NBA.
Maybe they should trade back for Anthony Davis.
Well, good news, Bob, is last year actually to acquire Derek Queen on draft night, they sent their unprotected first-round pick this year to Atlanta. So they don't even own their own pick right now. And the Atlanta Hawks, who just sent out Trae Young, maybe they'll get a shot at Debanza or Boozer or one of those other guys up there. Anyway, though, Kevin Durant, he now sits at 31,562 points. He just passed Dirk Nowitzki. He is about 14, or no, if I can do quicker math here, 700 behind Michael Jordan, and then a couple thousand or so behind Kobe Bryant. So he's got a pretty good shot at getting up to 4. Then, though, he would still need 5,000 plus more to get to Karl Malone, and then 7,000 to get to Kareem, and then 10 plus to get to LeBron, who's still also adding to his total as we speak. But nevertheless, Tito, Durant's had a very weird career for an all-time great. But if you look at just, what he has accomplished, like kind of by himself, if you can kind of sort of remove the team aspect from it a little bit. And but he is a ridiculous scorer, so not surprised he's going to end his career somewhere in that top 5 of all-time scoring lists.
This has been one of Bob's favorite shows. We've done baseball talk, women's college nickname talk, and then now we're talking NBA here. New Orleans is, in fact, the worst team in the league at 10-35.
There you go.
222 winning percentage. Durant, excuse me. Durant, he's had it. You don't see usually players that good get moved around as often. Some people do it like, LeBron does it through, it's a different way, but like Durant, Phoenix was over him and got rid of him. He didn't do anything in Brooklyn, goes there and tries to, he forms these, goes as part of these super teams, and it doesn't usually work out, The Brooklyn thing that was part because Kyrie refused to get vaccinated. That was one of the reasons they
couldn't stay healthy. Harden couldn't stay healthy. Durant couldn't stay healthy.
Right,
He really hasn't been able to stay healthy 100% since tearing his Achilles in 2019 with Golden State. And it's weird, man. Like, he's no question one of the best players ever. But how do we judge these guys once you get towards the tippy top of that iceberg? Rings, championships. Yeah. And because he won his 2 when he joined Golden State, Carp, it always kind of feels like people are always going to hold that against him,
Yeah,
which
I
I
mean,
think is kind of fair.
It's interesting because he's one of the most dynamic scorers in NBA history.
Yeah.
And that is, without a doubt, unquestioned. You look at his time in Oklahoma City and what he was able to do and how good he was, and then leaving that and going to Golden State. At that point, it felt like his career was going to be on a weird path unless he just was content with staying there and being like second fiddle to Steph. And I don't know how he's going to be remembered. Like, I'm trying to think of like any other comp across any other sport where you have a guy that's one of the most talented people at their given profession. And in basketball, we put so much on titles because you're one of 5 players that plays both ways, so your ability to influence it. So it's really hard to like look at that with football and say there's any comp there. There's no one else in the world of basketball that could even come close to like a career experience like he's had. He has the titles. He's got tons of points. I mean, he's done everything else. But he just kind of seems like a villain now when for a long time he seemed like a nice guy.
Hey, you either die a hero.
You live long enough to see yourself become the villain. I think that honestly is Kevin Durant.
And everything.
And he's never been comfortable with it. He seems like he has, but he's the guy with the burner accounts and everything else that's going on. And it's just, I don't know.
And as much as like LeBron made himself the villain going down to Miami, coming back and getting that title in Cleveland, just like changed everything about his career. With Durant, everything since Golden State has just been like, what in the world, man? Like Brooklyn was a mess, Phoenix was a mess. A lot of it has been because he can't seem to find happiness. And you know, I don't want to get into his mental health or anything because I don't know the guy, but it's like, dang, dude, like seems like it's been a lot of unhappy teams and teams that kind of, when Brooklyn's trio broke up, when things went down and went south in Phoenix, he was at the center of it. Like, and he's got to own some of that.
There's a song by Taylor Swift.
Uh-oh.
It was Me, Hi, I'm the Problem, It's me. I don't know if he's a fan of that, if he's ever heard it, but I think there might be something to that.
And she's one of the greats.
I consider Durant, like I've got Durant in a different mindset, a different circumstance as far as forming the super team. And like I know LeBron caught a lot of grief for taking his talents to South Beach. And
at least he went down there and he was the main piece, and they won 2 and were played in 4.
Yeah, played 4 in a row. But LeBron had to leave to form a super. Like the Cavs weren't doing it. The Cavs were doing an awful job valuing talent and drafting players. I mean, you look at some of the teams LeBron had there. You know, Michael Jordan never had to go chase a title of another team because they did a great job of drafting Scottie Pippen and adding Rodman, you know, and things like that. And like they formed the super team within the organization while Jordan was there. Versus Jordan having to go somewhere to find someone to play with, you know, to help win the championship there. But so, as I look at Durant, though, like Durant had a great setup in OKC with the young Harden and Russell Westbrook, you know.
Which they traded Harden, to be fair.
Yeah, they did. But I'm saying they had a great opportunity there. Organically, that team was built that way.
Yeah.
And then he, you know, the Golden State thing. And
he joined the team that beat his team in the conference finals, and they won 73 games. And frankly, if Draymond doesn't get suspended, and I'm not saying he didn't deserve that suspension, but if he did, like, they probably won the title. Yeah. Like, you didn't just join. Like, if he kind of 9 times out of 10, especially now, it's just like you kind of join up with other players. That's what a lot of guys do if your team doesn't build around you well enough. But it was like he took that to such an extreme that no matter how much he won in Golden State, nobody was ever going to respect that. And then, like I mentioned, ever since then, he kind of hasn't won since.
No.
Some college basketball here, guys. A once proud program, the Georgetown men's basketball program. They have fallen on some hard times.
Was Georgetown like the equivalent of like Miami to football for the last 20 years? Like, are they in the middle of that trough?
I would say that. Yeah,
that's probably fair. I think. Yeah,
they've had Ewing was coach there for a while.
Chewing.
They didn't do much.
Not very good.
Yeah, it's probably about the same kind of time frame there, Bob.
Yeah, I mean, the Hoyas, they've made the tournament just one time in the last 10 years, and in that one season, they were a 12 seed. They got bounced immediately in the first round. And as we now sit in year 3 here of the Ed Cooley era, things do not seem to be getting much better. They went 9-23 in year 1. They did double their wins last year, but still 18-16. And then this year, they are back here at 9-9. They're 500. They're 1-6 in Big East play.
Get back down.
But on the bright side, let's look at the positives here.
Mr.
They only
Brightside?
lost by 2 points to number 3 UConn on Saturday. And after the game, Coach Cooley told reporters, quote, "There's a lot worse things happening right now than Georgetown losing a basketball game. You know what we are? We're blessed. We're blessed to be 9-9. We're blessed to be 1-6 in this league. It could be a lot worse." Bob, to quote Mr. Griswold, worse? How could things possibly get any worse? Look around you, Ellen. We're at the threshold of hell. At least he's keeping the bright side, though.
Well, they're 9-9 in conference. They got a
1-6
shot
in conference play. 9-9 overall.
Oh,
1-6 in conference
I was going to say,
play.
there's no way they played 18 conference games. Sorry. 1-6. Well, they've got some opportunities. They've got one win in the pocket. See if you can make that, turn into a pair. You know, if you get a pair of wins, then we've got something going on here.
Yeah.
I love his optimism.
I would
keep your chin up.
I would die just one time to see Ryan Day come up after a loss.
Right.
Like, listen, guys, we won 12 games.
Yeah.
Miami's really good. We only lost by 2 scores, but we had to pick. Like, this place would burn to the ground.
Oh yeah. We were blessed to lose. You know what I mean? It's like we were blessed for that. Next year when they lose 2 games in the regular season, I would come out and says, you know what?
Hey,
we're blessed.
This is a blessing.
Yes, this is a blessing
in disguise. But yeah, Tito, the Hoyas, they have fallen on some hard times, and college basketball. I mean, we've seen this in football, but I think in football, as much as like Indiana is an outlier, I still think in football, like the Blue Bloods will still mostly be good because they have the resources and whatnot. Because college basketball, you can get 1 or 2 guys with some name, image, and likeness money.
Yeah.
Like Georgetown being what they once were. Not saying it, in one, you could look at it, 2 ways. One way, should be easy for them to be good again. But on the other hand, it's easy for so many programs to be good nowadays that them getting back to the glory days of where they were could be tough.
Yeah, and, I believe that college basketball is better when Georgetown's relevant. I think because, and yeah, you're right, back in the mid-'80s, I mean, that one year, the Big East had 3 of the 4 teams in the Final Four when Georgetown had their team, and Syracuse was great, but Georgetown, Villanova, and St. John's were all in the Final Four, and you still also had, like, Pitino coaching in that conference. You had, Boeheim with Syracuse there. It was like a really good conference to watch. And that's when they started doing the big Monday basketball on ESPN was because of that situation right there. But I don't know if they'll be able to get it back or not. If they get close to that,
not impossible, but it'll be tough. Got the College Football Playoff National Championship game, guys, tonight. And Kurt Signetti, he'll try to accomplish something that most people, frankly, never thought they would see in their entire lives. That would be Indiana winning a national championship in football. They have actually never finished higher than 4th in the history of the AP poll. So they're definitely going to finish 1st or 2nd tonight, and they'll try to get the win over the Canes and finish number 1. And if you take him at his word, Kurt Signetti is not going to be going anywhere regardless of tonight's game, as he told reporters the other day at Media Day ahead of the national championship. Quote, "I'm not an NFL guy. I made that decision a long time ago." Mr. Google Me, his name has come up quite a bit with both the Raiders, because he could team up with Mendoza, his quarterback there this spring, or the Steelers as they look for a new head coach, and that's where he's from. But Tito, he'll turn 65 later on this year. If they win tonight, they may change the name Indiana Hoosiers to Indiana Kurt Signetti's.
Right, yeah.
I don't see any reason why he shouldn't just stick around and keep things rolling there for a handful of more years until he's ready to retire.
Yeah, I go back and forth on if I think he'll ever coach the NFL or not. I mean, an NFL team to take on a 65-year-old who's never been a head coach in the NFL, you've got to have a team that's pretty damn close to competing right now. And I know the Raiders aren't there. The Raiders aren't a team that's going to...
Not quite.
I mean...
even if Mendoza, really hit as a prospect, you still feel like that'd be a couple years of a rebuild at least.
And, Steelers and Ravens would both make sense because they're, Steelers for the home talent part of it, the Ravens are because they've still got a really good base of talent there.
Yeah.
And an established quarterback already. But I would like to see if his style would translate to the NFL. If his culture, his style, and all that, I would love to see if it's going to do it. But I'm with you. I think he's probably just going to stay in Indiana at the end of his career.
He's not going anywhere. He's 62. He's not leaving here. He's not leaving Indiana to go to the NFL. I think there would be some tacit interest in the NFL from him, but I don't think it's enough for him to jump, and I don't think he wants to try to rebuild another program. He's got it rolling right now at Indiana. He's got all the resources he needs to be successful. I don't think he wants to go and change that.
How weird is that? I think Ohio State's biggest Big Ten game next year is going to be at Bloomington. They've got Oregon here, but their biggest test, the Big Ten, those probably going to be at Bloomington and see what they can do.
Don't they play USC next year for the first time, too?
Yeah, they play
which
USC.
Is like, think about that.
They're at Texas.
It feels impossible.
Yeah, you're right. I can't believe I'm in a world where Indiana football is that big of a game for Ohio State.
And you would think that, part of you wants to say, like, well, they're going to lose a lot of talent, but and if they win tonight, they obviously number 1 overall pick, going to be at the quarterback position there for them. But they, the way they just have reloaded in the portal, it's like it's at a point where it's like, I'm guessing they'll at least win 9 games next year.
They've out-recruited through NIL and whatever. They've out-recruited Florida State. Florida State's been,
Florida State would die to be in Indiana.
Yes, it'd be a blessing. But yeah, the more I think of it, it's like you couldn't have scripted this. If you wanted to, and 20 years ago, make a movie and say, here's what we're going to do. Indiana's going to be playing for the national championship. They're going to be really good. They're going to
Hollywood director would go to sports fans, college football fans, and be like, what school would be a good one, to be the Cinderella story?
Right.
Most people would probably be like, Indiana.
Indiana's
We're going to pick a Power 5
or
4 program. Indiana's be a pretty good one.
This will be a fictional movie is what they'd have to decide on, too, also that. So, all right, an hour number 2, another NFL team. I typed this tease, Bob. I knew you would get a kick out of it. An hour number 2, another NFL team filled its opening. We'll do that next. Morning Juice.
Ms. Fernandez, what are those tiny things?
Those are what we call amoebas. You can only see them through a microscope.
Wow.
Today's students are tomorrow's great thinkers and innovators. But right now, there's a funding crisis in public schools. Millions of kids go to schools that don't have funding for books, computers, and so much more just because of where they live. You can help change that. Donors Choose is a nonprofit that lets you support students and teachers in your community and beyond. You choose which supplies to support. You could provide first graders with pencils and paper, or other students with their first chapter books, help a music class get a guitar.
You could even supply a classroom like mine with a science project. But what you're really giving is the moment that sparks a brighter tomorrow.
To learn more, please visit DonorsChoose.org. That's DonorsChoose.org. Choose students. Shape the future.
Some journeys start small, with small pause and big purpose.
Look how little fly, you sweet girl.
Every great partnership begins with the first step.
Bella, let's go.
Guiding them through the world so one day they can guide someone through life. With shared experience, confidence grows, and the path becomes clear. It takes time, patience, and love. But the reward lasts a lifetime.
Hey, good girl, Bella.
You don't just raise a puppy. You raise a future. Become a Dogs Inc. puppy raiser. Give a dog a purpose. Give someone hope.
Learn more at dogsinc.org.
You served behind the desk.
You served in combat.
You did 4 years and got out.
You were drafted.
You gave 20 years.
You gave exactly what your country needed.
And so did you.
When you raised your hand and swore an oath to your country, when you put your name on a dotted line, you became part of only 1% of Americans who did the same. You are a veteran.
You are a veteran.
You are a veteran. Because no matter when, where, or how you served, you made a sacrifice for your country, and you deserve support.
If you're struggling with life after service, don't wait. Reach out.
Reach out to a loved one, to a fellow veteran, to VA.
Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
Proud to be your go-to sports addiction.
WBNS, WBNS FM, HD3 Columbus.
The Fan 3, Ohio sports destination. Attack and dominate. You're locked into Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Here's Bobby and Tito.
All right, it's Bobby, it's Tito, it's Bodie here on a Monday. At this here time tomorrow, it'll be a Schlegs Day. Coming up on Wednesday, Derek Dorsett's going to be in studio with us for a segment, Former Jacket. So looking forward to that this week as well. All right, Matt Ryan, the new president of the Atlanta Falcons, hired Kevin Stefanski. And one thing, Bob, is I'm looking at this article on ESPN, and before we talk about Stefanski and the hiring of that, I saw this thing, and they said that Matt Ryan, the team's former quarterback for 14 seasons and the best player in franchise history.
Yeah.
Do you think it's that it's that clear-cut that he is the best player in franchise history?
I mean, it's always a subjective measure when you're talking about offense, defense, multiple positions.
Right.
I mean, as far as longevity, what he did for the Falcons, I would say probably yeah. I mean, they're not exactly the most storied franchise with players that they've drafted and developed that have been there for a long time. I mean, Deion Sanders was really good, but he was only there for 4 years.
Right. Who else was Jamal
Michael
Anderson
Vick
was pretty good. Vic, although Vic wasn't there long enough either. I mean,
He wasn't, but his peak was.
Yes, the end was very sudden. But yeah, the name that comes to mind for me is Jamal Anderson first. I know he
Jamal
had
Anderson first. How many years was he there?
I don't know off the top of my head. I want to say it was like a Terrell Davis type thing, you know, where because he got hurt. I know he tore up his knee.
That's my point. Like 6 years.
Yeah, I would say so. Probably six, 7 years.
You're thinking
Yeah.
the best player in your franchise is a 6-year guy you had?
How long was Julio there? I mean,
Julio's pretty good. Yeah, that's a
long
better argument.
time. But
That's a
I
better
guess
argument than mine, I guess.
That's a much better argument. If you're going to pull another player Thitoff, we got to pull a guy that spent his career there. The thing is, he's so tethered to Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
And I think Julio wasn't a guy that talked a lot, so I think Matt Ryan was just always viewed as the face of it. But, I mean, I don't know that Matt Ryan's a Hall of Famer. I know that Julio Jones is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's fair.
That's it. Do you like the Stefanski hiring for them, Bob?
I think it's good. He's an offensive guy. He's going to probably keep a lot of the same system stuff in place. I think it works. We'll see what he ultimately is able to do with that and how he can do outside of Cleveland. But I think it checks a lot of the boxes that you're looking for.
Did he ever start a Super Bowl game or not? Matt Ryan, I mean, not Stefanski.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they lost
which one
with
was it?
28-3.
Oh, that's right. He was starting quarterback. The reason I asked, I'd forgotten who was the quarterback for the Falcons that day, just because.
Why? He was the quarterback for the last 15 years.
I was thinking out, Bob, on the way in on the show before us. Somebody was talking about who is the best quarterback to never play in the Super Bowl, and I was trying to think in my mind, going through every team, and Romo could have been one. This guy's argument was Warren Moon, I heard, but Moon was pretty good also. But
that's a good question, though.
Yeah, I was trying to go through in my mind, and it's funny. The reason I really forgot about that Falcons thing was because I started, in the standings when you'd read them, it started AFC East, AFC North, whatever South, and I'm going through the divisions when I pulled up, and then stopped before I got to the NFC West. I got through the NFC
South.
North. I was trying to think of who it was. I was going through each team's best quarterback ever and if they played in the Super Bowl or not. That's why I did not complete the task, I guess I would say, on that one. C.J. Stroud, rough game yesterday. The 4 interceptions, and he, obviously he knows that was a big reason why they lost, and took the blame for it afterwards. They could have won that game if they don't turn their ball over like that.
They almost won it despite turning it over like that. They had the ball back. They were down 2 scores in the fourth quarter. They just couldn't get anything going. You drive down and score, and you could, I think it was 28-16.
Yeah.
You go down and score right there. All of a sudden now it's a different game.
What Super Bowl matchup do you want to see?
We're just moving off of the game that quick to something else.
We we're talking about Houston, New England, and I know New England's Vrabel, and that's somebody like I didn't know if there was like a certain game you want to see. We can go back to the game and talk about it. I was curious.
Who do I think will be there?
Who do
I think now it'll be New England, and I've been on the Rams the whole time.
Right. That was a hell of a game. I remember I watched the end of that one. I watched most of it while I was over at the golf simulator thing, so I had it on the TV there while we were doing it. And once Williams threw that pass, I thought, this will end up going well. This will end up winning. The Bears will win this thing now. Somebody did say we need to do a wellness check on Brandon Beam in the chat to make sure he's okay.
I think Beam expected it.
Yeah, I guess yeah.
It's probably fair to say he's built up quite a callus to that sort of thing over the years.
That's a great way to put it.
Hey, listen, Caleb Williams is a high ceiling, low floor quarterback right now. He's got to find a way to eliminate the bad.
Mm-hmm.
The play that he made, I could not believe it. I was actually at the movies with my kids, and I was watching it on my phone while I was in the movie theater. So
you're supposed to put your phone away, Bob.
I think that's what they say before the movie.
They say it was on silent. There was no sound coming out of me. I had an earbud in so I could hear it a little bit. And then I took it out because I didn't even really need that, so I could watch the movie and listen to that. But I watched that. I'm like, how the heck? Because I turned away, and I'm like, how did they just score? And so I watched the replay. I'm like, this fool's retreating to the 30-yard line and just chucks it up to the corner to his tight end, who, by the way, that might be offensive pass interference as we're pushing the corner to the ground to ultimately come. And Cole Kmet did a great job of bringing it in. So I'm not going to hate on him for it, but my goodness, like at some point in time, like you just can't push somebody down to go get the ball, especially with how they call stuff on defense. But they want to see scoring. But people talked about, the Rams wouldn't be able to go in there because of the cold weather. I thought Stafford played well. I thought Caleb Williams makes a lot of mistakes, man. He makes a lot of great plays, but he does some really dumb stuff.
That Stafford throw to Devontae Adams on the game-winning drive was just absolutely ridiculous. Like
he's the best.
I
Man.
thought that ball, and that was against Nashawn Wright, who former Cowboy great. They couldn't get anything out of him, and of course he goes to Chicago now. He's a good player, so good for him. But he's a big dude too. Like he's probably especially for a corner. I mean, he's every bit of 6'3", 6'4". I can't believe Stafford got the ball there, and then that was a heck of a catch for Adams, who. When they brought him in the offseason, you're like, is this a guy who's...
How much gas is left in the tank?
Yeah, and he, obviously, Nakua is he is the best receiver on the team, but I feel like Adams has had a pretty strong year there, and now they'll go back to Seattle, who's just been kind of steamrolling teams here, although San Francisco was probably... They were at the end of the rope, man.
Yeah.
Once you start and, having the injuries that they've had, it kind of...
It caught up to him. It finally got him.
Yeah. And once, I don't know what the historical statistics are on this, but when you take back the opening kickoff, and the only guy who really came close to tackling you was the kicker who tried to trip you,
right? Yeah,
that's probably a bad sign for the losing team there.
You've played in Seattle before, Bob, right?
Yep.
You played in Kansas City, right? And you've played in Pittsburgh, right?
Yep.
Are all three of those environments? It feels like they are recognized as maybe the closest thing to a college football environment.
Yeah.
Is that accurate?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, I played in Seattle in a playoff game, too, which is a little bit different. I played there in regular season and then playing there in a playoff game. I mean, there's a lot of juice that goes behind it. Kansas City, I've been told, is remarkable for the playoffs. And, a similar thing with Pittsburgh. I think Green Bay maybe falls into that category a little bit as well.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Just maybe in Buffalo, like how loud those places can get. I think that Seattle stadium with the awnings on it just helps keep the sound in a little more. And they say the same thing. Kansas City is supposed to be really loud. Now I don't know if there's any structural elements that help with that, but it's a heck of an environment.
I think the cold weather thing. Jumping back to the Bears game for a second, I think the cold weather impact is overplayed anymore.
Why is that?
Because it's not like these guys have never played in elements in the NFL before. You know what I mean? And I there was a stat with Tampa Bay for a long time where they didn't win a game there was a certain temperature. It got to below.
You don't like
degrees.
to go to games that are cold.
Yeah, I know. you guys are tougher than me. I'm not afraid to admit that. But
I love that you're now going to downplay it after you saying like you don't want to go. You want to watch it in the cold, but you don't want to go to it in the cold.
I want to see you guys' breath. I want to see you guys out there. That's a gladiator thing there, Bob. Ooh. That you guys are out there playing in those kind of elements.
Cold smiles.
Nobody likes playing in that.
Would you rather
say what they want, but
would you rather play extreme cold or extreme hot?
Well, I mean, there's a point where like it can't get any hotter. I mean, it just is what it is.
Right.
I'll probably extreme heat.
Really?
Yeah, that's not even a question. You can keep cooling down. You can do stuff. There's points where it starts getting because the wind amplifies all of that. And when you get wind on it, it's brutal. There's nothing you're doing at that point.
I think the biggest extreme one. I love the stories about when Winslow in the Chargers, the other Winslow, not the bad one, the good one.
His dad.
Yes. When he had to play that playoff game in Miami where it was like 90 degrees or whatever it was. And then the next week had to play in Cincinnati with a wind chill of like minus 30. Like they talk about it's the biggest extreme a team's had to play in consecutive weeks, going from that cold or that hot to where he's collapsing on the field with cramps, and then to go back and play somewhere that cold. The impact on that. So
it's hard to throw the football in the wind, cold wind like that. That's what I was really impressed with Stafford. But you got to think he spent a lot of his career in Detroit, which was indoors. But he's played in Chicago. He knew about it. He's experienced it. He's played in Green Bay. Like he knows how cold it is out there.
Right.
And so I think that honestly played into it as a benefit for him. And Devontae Adams, Green Bay guy for a long time. They had some cold weather guys. I was impressed with Puka Nacua. I mean, he was a Islander. His ability to go out there and play and handle that. That was impressive because that's chilly for him.
Yeah. It's but there was such a big deal made about having playing the elements. Like you just mentioned, a couple of guys that certainly played plenty of games. And
as long as you have guys who have experience playing in it, but if you don't, then I think it is a huge deal.
I can't remember who I was talking to about this, but they said, they think it's better to play in the cold than the heat because in the cold you can just keep layering up and whatnot. You can't take off. That? I'm trying to think where I heard. I'm trying to think where I read that. Was that you?
I didn't say that.
Okay. Yeah,
that's foolish.
It said in the heat though, you can't take off every layer.
I understand that. I would say that in generalities, like in life, which I would prefer, you can always get warm. The problem is, once you start putting too much stuff out, you still have to go play the game.
Right.
You can't look like a little kid out there that his mom dressed him up with like a hoodie, a puff coat, like coming out underneath your shoulder pads. You have to be able to go play and functionally be able to move. And so in the extreme heat, there's things you can do to train for that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even if you're in a cold weather environment, that's the thing. You can train for the heat by turning up the heat in different places, wearing sweat coats, doing things. Whereas extreme cold, if there's no way to chill anything down to get you to a point where it's like playing in a freezer. Plus the wind.
Yeah.
Like you can't replicate or simulate that. So that's why it's harder.
Plus, doesn't it just hurt?
It does.
I know it's
more.
oversimplified maybe, but it just hurts to be outside in the cold.
Yeah.
Not that
getting your hand
extreme
smashed
heat.
in the cold feels absolutely atrocious.
Yeah. So
I saw the Steelers have given hints that they would welcome Aaron Rodgers back if he wants to come back for another year. I don't know why Aaron Rodgers would want to come back to that team for another year, just because I feel like they're.
I want to curious what Pittsburgh's plan is.
Yeah.
Like, what do they view the future of their organization like in the immediate future?
Right.
Where are they? Because I think they're much closer to a rebuild than trying to go chase a Super Bowl.
Sure.
And especially when you don't have your coach anymore.
Right.
Who had been there for 19 years. So I don't know who you would bring in that would want to just kind of jump on a moving train and try to keep that thing rolling as opposed to maybe tearing it down and starting anew.
That defense is going to, if it hasn't already, is going to age out. They're
on the cusp of doing it right now.
Yeah. They've had a couple of bad a couple of picks that haven't panned out the way that I'm sure they had hoped. But yes, I'm with you. I think if he wants to play to win another ring, Pittsburgh's not the place for it.
No.
He'd have to go find another home somewhere else if he's going to do that. And
Is that out there for him, though?
I'm trying to
I don't
think.
think that. I don't know if that place exists.
Yeah.
Who was most disappointing this year that we thought would make the playoffs or at least make a push
I
for
guess
the playoffs?
maybe if Penix wasn't going to be healthy.
Yeah,
maybe.
That could be one of them. But not the Dolphins, I would. They're not close to winning anything. But
No.
Yeah. What's that?
Cleveland.
Yeah. That's super close right on the cusp there. Yeah.
What'd you guys make at the end of the Broncos game? I'll be honest, I wanted Buffalo to win.
So did I. I think everybody did.
Yeah.
I thought that was an interception.
I thought it was, yeah.
Like I thought it was pretty clearly Cooks. I know he had it, and I know he hit the ground for a second.
If you're touched when you're on the ground, you're down.
I just never thought he had control long enough. Like, to me, if that ball had popped out, period, it would have been an incomplete pass.
Yeah.
So I don't know how you could have called it a completion.
Here's the problem, is when you are down on the ground with possession of the football, the play is over and done. So, like, if he keeps rolling and it's pulled out, you could say he never secured the catch. I don't know if you could say that he caught it or had it enough to be down and be touched and then have the ball ripped away as you roll through it. That's my problem with it. And I don't know.
Did you think it was a catch then?
I would have leaned on keeping it a catch.
Okay. I couldn't believe how fast they moved on from it.
That's the problem. So I didn't want people to look at it.
We'll review things for 5 minutes.
Right.
And I felt like with that, they almost didn't even seem to review it. I'm not saying they definitely didn't, but they didn't seem to. And then McDermott called a timeout, and they still on the ball
because they didn't want to.
Yeah, and that's
the problem with the NFL and all this crap that's going on right now. Like that they choose to review some things and they phone in from New York and then they don't for others. Like that's my biggest thing is who's the person making that decision on what's going to be, expedited review or they're going to stop and take another look at it. I mean that is a game-changing critical play.
Oh, yeah.
In a juncture of the game where it's starting to get really late. And
I mean, if it was called a catch, they're in chip shot field goal range.
Yeah.
I mean, he was on the edge of the red zone as he landed there. And and to further top it off, I thought the pass interference, not that put Denver at the goal line, but the one right before that, I thought that was a garbage call. There's some rough PIs that were out there.
And
I don't know. I'm not advocating for more instant replay, but man, that was, and maybe it wouldn't have mattered because I know Bosa got the roughing the passer penalty, and I admittedly never saw a replay of that, so I don't know if that was a clean call or not.
A little late.
Okay. But we're talking about a team going to the AFC title game, and we're calling hand fighting. I don't know, man. I don't know if the solution is allowing, we allow coaches to challenge other things, spot of the ball and whatnot. Do you let them challenge one time a penalty? Because to me, that would have, I think that might have been second down if I remember correctly. So it wasn't. So Denver still would have needed another first down, or Buffalo would have needed another stop there the next play. But that was 50. I think it would have been about a mid-50-yard field goal. And once that pass interference was called, then it was over. Denver was winning the game. It would have taken a shank to have the Broncos not win it. And it just, I don't know. It just feels like a lot of times, man, these games are coming down to bang calls that feel off.
I know I've asked a question for Bob, but why not? It's only Goody. Is officiating worse now, or is it just easier to see?
There's more to officiate. No,
okay.
They've changed. Purcell's always said this. He used to just be he used to always say that it was either a catch, incompletion, and then there was occasionally PI. Well, now you have, PI. You have illegal contact. There's holding calls. They throw the ball now with greater accuracy than ever before. The receivers are bigger and faster than ever before. They're capable of, all these crazy catches. And now we have the technology where we can frame it and figure out 999 times out of 1,000 whether or not it was what we believed it to be.
Yeah.
There's still going to be some subjectivity and ambiguity, but like did the ball hit? Almost every time you can figure that out and see if it moved and different things. So when you start getting into the PI of that and pass interference, like that's another thing that's highly subjective, and I'm with you. But like that's what Bill Belichick would say. He goes, if we're going to be able to replay stuff, why wouldn't we be able to replay that? Because that's a huge piece of it. Because there's times where people are like, well, if you're going to call the pass interference A, then you've got to call B, and they always don't, and that's the problem.
To me, if you go back and watch it, and like I'm not saying it should have been called, but like Cooks looks like he kind of was interfered with as that ball right before that ball gets there. It would have been a bang bang like tough call, but I didn't think it was any different than like I said, it was the second to last PI against Buffalo. The very last one that put him inside the 10, that was pretty clearly a PI. But the second to last one that took it from a 55-yard field goal to whatever it would have been there, 15, 20 yards. That was 35 to 40-yarder. That basically decided the game. Buffalo was pretty much toast at that point in the game. And it just, like I said, I don't really want more instant replay, but I don't know if you let coaches challenge. Just add that to the coaches' challenge. They can challenge certain things and they can not challenge certain things, right? I don't know if you add that in there and if they get it correctly, they keep their challenge or what. But if you're Buffalo, you kind of feel like your season ended on two calls that could have gone either way.
And I just think that since we've, the technology with how close we can see super slow-mo and how much we can see more of the game in HD on nice wider TVs, bright colors and all that versus
every angle.
Yeah, you see everything, more cameras, more eyes on things, and I think that's why I don't know if you can convince me the officiating is worse. Like some people complain, the officials.
Oh, it's worse. I just think we have a greater perspective on it than we ever did before.
Agree. Yeah, I don't think it's worse. It's just these guys are bigger, faster, stronger. Like Carp said a second ago, we throw the ball more, so there's just and they're like. Bob, you said a second ago as well, there's a million things. It's no longer just like, hey, did he tackle that guy when the ball was in the air? It's like, well, he kind of pushed him, and it was 7 yards down the field, so that might be illegal contact, and we have every camera angle of it, and we slow everything down to, frame by frame, which always kind of makes it seem like it probably overplays it, right? Like a slight push in a normal play, just like boom, when you just replay it at normal speed, probably doesn't look that bad. But when you slow it down to like 0.1 speed, it looks like it like knocks the guy, off the field. So I don't know. Poor Buffalo fans, though. Gosh, that is just
you get crapped on, man.
Oh, that is.
It's been a tough one.
Yeah, God, tough few decades for the Bills up there, man.
It's interesting to me the way that Josh Allen gets blame for this. Like, if he doesn't do it, if he doesn't go to a Super Bowl this year, we're saying if he doesn't go this year, he's never going to be able. He won't be able to go anymore. This was probably Allen's, I don't know, probably best year. Maybe as far as them relying on him. You know what I mean? Like he was.
I think that's fair. Yeah.
And he was fantastic this year. But I don't think it's fair to say that if he doesn't go to a Super Bowl, that his legacy gets tarnished that much.
Oh, yeah, I think. Dude, Phillip Rivers didn't go. Like, Matt Ryan went once. It's hard. The reason why this year was so painful is, you're playing against Bo Nix.
Yep.
Right.
Second-year guy. Like, there's no Burrow. There's no Mahomes.
No Jackson.
No Lamar.
Yeah.
And those were the guys that had been at the top for the last decade in the AFC. Those guys weren't in there. And so you're playing against Bo Nix, Drake May up next week.
Then you could have faced Darnold after that potentially. Like it was a wide open field.
So that's what makes this hurt that much more, I think, because you look at who it was. You didn't get outgunned by a guy who's great, and you've watched some of those great duels with him and Mahomes or him and Burrow, whatever it is, where they're going back and forth. This didn't feel like that. You felt like, gosh, you were right on the edge of being able to get it done.
Right. Coming up next, an athletic director in college football wants them to be more holistic. We'll discuss that next. Morning Juice.
Hey,
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. You don't want to start the new year off hurting. You don't want to start off the new year getting surgery. You don't want to start off the new year dealing with trying to plan something out into the future. What you want to do is get healthy. So what you want to do is go to my friends over at QC Kinetics. Dr. Tesner and his team, the medical pros at QC Kinetics right here in Columbus, they can deliver regenerative treatments that actually help your body repair the areas that are causing you pain. Those achy knees, hips, back, shoulders, whatever it is, they can help you get ready. So instead of those invasive operations, it's going to sideline you all of the early year. Go check out our friends at QC Kinetics and see if they can help you today. Imagine moving better, being stronger, planning your year, doing what actually you want to do. So don't wait. Call 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. They have offices located in Dublin and Gahanna, and they're ready there for your free consultation. So go check them out today. Bobby Carpenter here with the Riverside Bank of Dublin Sports Money Report. When the game's on the line, you press hard, you hustle, you stay focused, and give it everything you've got. Pressure brings out the best in people. That's how business works too. Have you ever met what seemed like an impossible deadline? Saved a deal from going off a cliff at the last minute? Here's Chuck Moore, CEO, and Travis Sanders, president of Riverside Bank of Dublin, on their local partnership and dedication to doing whatever it takes.
Thanks, Bobby. At Riverside Bank of Dublin, we're proud to be on your team, helping local businesses manage cash, fund growth, and invest in what's next. From startups to seasoned pros, we bring the full court press every day for our clients.
That's right, Travis. Our team at Riverside Bank is just as hungry as you are to grow and prosper. That mentality shows up in everything we do. Your business deserves a banking partner that's invested in your success. Look for a new branch location at Bridge Park in 2026.
Tune in every day for the Riverside Bank of Dublin Sports Money Report. Visit their office at 6300 France Road in Dublin or online at riverside.bank.
While serving in Vietnam, a grenade took my ability to see. Today, I'm a sculptor. Now, my fingers are my eyes. I'm Michael Naranjo. As a veteran, I know the challenges of life can be great. In my art, turning a lump of clay into something beautiful, that is worth doing. Life is like that. We each must use what we can to make things better.
DAV helps veterans like Michael get the benefits they've earned. They help more than 1 million veterans every year in life-changing ways.
Now, I show others how they can create something with their own hands. I know it can do a lot of good. With support from DAV, more veterans can shape their lives into a thing of beauty. My victory is bringing beauty into the world.
Michael Naranjo, may your victories inspire many more. Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
Attack and dominate. You're locked into Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Here's Bobby and Tito.
Do you need a bank that truly values local business in this town? The opportunity to work alongside them as partners. Whether you're a small business or a large operation, Riverside Bank of Dublin has the right tools for the job. Riverside Bank of Dublin has the experience of working right here in Central Ohio. They understand the business climate in our area. They will help you reach your goals. So whether you need an SBA loan to get your business off the ground, a line of credit to keep it running smoothly, or equipment financing to get your business up to scale, Riverside Bank will tailor a solution that fits your needs. Visit them at riverside.bank. Or stop in and get to know them in person at 6300 France Road, Riverside Bank of Dublin, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Had Bill Bender on back in our second segment of the show around 6:23, and he mentioned the fact that there's no agreement yet in place on how to handle the CFP going forward, how big it should be, any changes should be made with it. And he hinted that he believes it will all likely stay at 12 teams for another year, although according to ESPN...
Deadlines make deals, so there's a chance this week to get something done, but it doesn't look great.
But we all three of us agree 24 is not the right answer, right?
No, I don't like it. I know Tony Petit's been pitching that, and I really like Tony. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care if there's 3 ACC teams that get in or 2 or even 1. I don't care. Like the SEC wants to keep it tight so they can have more of it in a greater percentage. And I think Tony Petit is looking at this like, hey, this can be all inclusive. We can bring in, make sure the other conferences get involved. We keep the automatic qualifiers for smaller schools, and people like that, or at least that makes us feel better about ourselves because we're taking care of programs.
Was that the goal when you guys killed the Pac-12?
Exactly. As you gave that the coup de grace. I just look at it and it's like, you're going to ruin the regular season at that point.
That's the thing to me.
If I only have to be at the top 24, essentially. Now, with auto qualifiers and everything else and the confusion, probably be a little different, but probably guaranteeing if you're in the top 18 to 20, you're getting in. I mean, that's why?
To me, I completely agree with you, Bob. To me, at least when we went from 4 to 12, so the regular season lost a little bit of value, but at least it balanced out to where now you had teams sitting at 9-2 heading into the last weekend where games still mattered. So it was a pretty even balance there. Once you go to 24, I mean, you just mentioned it last segment or whatever it was, 2 segments ago, Tito, where it's like Ohio State, next year it's Texas, Southern Cal, Michigan, Indiana.
Oregon.
I mean, you're talking now about your 4 or 5 biggest games. Most of them aren't even going to matter.
No.
Because you could lose.
You could lose 2 of them.
3 or 4 even, frankly.
Yeah.
I mean, and let's be honest, like most of these programs who are going to be contending in this thing on a regular basis, like Ohio State rolls the helmet out on the field and wins 8 games.
Sure.
So now the 4 games where there actually is comparable talent, they could lose 3 of the 4. And I'm not trying to pick on Ohio State here, but it's just, using their schedule next year for an example. Like, that's not healthy for the sport in any way, shape, or form. Like, for a sport that it's always been, the regular season's always been so great, the further you get away from that, like.
All right. So let's play a little game here.
Okay.
Do you need to see Arizona in the playoff this year?
That's who you said.
Did you
Arizona
need to see
no.
Houston?
Well, no.
Georgia Tech.
No.
Southern Cal.
Well, definitely no. Hard no.
I mean,
Can they?
Iowa. Like, those are the teams that we're talking about here on the back end. Sure. Would have been nice to get, like, maybe BYU, Texas, Vanderbilt in, Notre Dame. Sure.
Yes.
But getting the back half of those other teams in there is that I have zero desire to watch them play anybody.
I'd rather a few good teams get left out.
Yes.
Than a handful of not bad, but not good enough teams get in. Yeah. Like Iowa played some big games this year. Sure. They were a good football team. But when you lose, I mean, did Iowa beat anybody of consequence this year? Like, I'm pretty sure they lost to Iowa State, Southern Cal. They almost beat USC. They almost beat Oregon.
Right.
But they didn't.
Yeah.
And at some point, it's like, even Iowa
played Indiana tough.
They did, but they lost.
They had
and
3 tough games.
And they lost all of them, right?
Yeah.
So it's just like at some point, what was Iowa's 8-4 or 9-3?
8-4 because they lost to Iowa State too.
Okay, so they basically played 8 teams that they were probably favored to beat, and hey, that's a nice year for Iowa. But then you play 4 teams that it's, and granted,
you couldn't convert any of those.
Yes,
that's the point.
Yes,
if you convert 2 of those, you probably get in.
Yeah. And now they went 0-4 in those games, but if it was a 24-team field, they're a lock. Yeah. They're not even like on the bubble.
Yeah.
Like,
I want to see it go to 16. I want there to not be, because I want to see every team in the top 8 get a chance to host a home game.
Okay. Who's saying that's going to happen?
I'm assuming if they go to 16,
that's a big assumption.
You think they would expand the bowls? Because look, the home games that this has been.
Listen, I'm just telling you. Why would you make that assumption that that's going to happen?
I think it's been a success so far, and I think it. I think that's some of the gripes for people who get the buys, the 4 best right now, is that they would like to host a game.
Yeah.
And I mean, you said it was the loudest or best atmosphere you've ever had in Ohio State game.
I'm not saying any of those things are inaccurate. I'm saying why would you believe that that's going to be part of this? Because all this stuff is being negotiated, and I haven't heard with a definite certainty that that's something that if they expand, they're going to home sites.
What else would they do, though?
I don't know.
I think that's my thing. Is
don't ever underestimate their creativity.
Creativity. How about stupidity?
that 24 game pitch, 2014 pitch. I mean, I would never have thought of that.
That's true.
Maybe it's because I'm not creative enough,
or you're pretty smart, Bob.
Yeah, right.
I just think the thing is like I don't know. I can't think of an alternative.
Right.
To me, it makes so much sense, and everybody who likes college football, who most of the time seems to be not people running it, unfortunately.
Pat McAfee says the people that cover it hate it.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he said most of the sports writers hate sports.
College football.
Well, they hate sports.
They may be onto something there.
I don't think that he's wrong either.
But it just seems to make too much sense if they do go to 16. But I also saw, if I read this correctly, so Trump had the thing over the weekend where he said Army Navy gets an exclusive window.
Yeah,
which makes sense. I think people in a very divided political world, I think we could all get on board with that one.
There we go.
But if I saw Pete Thamels, or maybe it was Ross Dellinger, one of the two's reporting, if I read his tweet correctly, if I read it correctly, he also mentioned in there that if they went to 16, they could have 16 play 13 and 14 play 15 as playing games.
Yeah.
What
That's
are we
great.
doing here?
Sounds great.
It doesn't even make sense.
Have you ever seen those conference
we're
tournament brackets where they had the buys on the Big East when they had everybody getting in there? And they had 20 teams.
Some teams didn't play. So
some teams would play 7 games, but
some
if
teams
you
would play 2
or 3, you're already in the quarterfinals.
The thing I don't understand a lot about this, but so you're going from 16 to 14. That doesn't even make any sense, right? I'm not losing my mind here. If you map out a bracket,
right?
If you had 16, the 16th seed, play 13,
because you want to get down to 16 teams after.
I'm saying if you let in 16 and 16th seed plays the 13 and the 14 plays 15, all you're getting from there is down to 14 teams. So are you giving a bye still to the top 2?
Top 2, yeah.
Okay,
there you go.
Yeah.
Why not? Sure.
Yeah.
Let's see how stupid we can make this thing. Maybe everybody should. Maybe 2 should play 1 in the opening round.
Why not? Let's cut to the chase.
I want 16 teams. I want home playoff sites for the first round. I want
first 2 rounds, right?
First 2 rounds, yes.
Hopefully, yeah.
And then I also don't want to.
Sounds pretty selfish. Everything's me.
It's
totally
like
talking to a 6-year-old.
Well, if a 6-year-old as smart as me, then that's good. Or if I'm as smart as a 6-year-old. Anyway,
who is it better for?
Yeah, right. WIIFM. What's in it for me? I don't want to force a group of 5 team in anymore.
No.
Oh, that's happening.
If you go to 16, you're not one of the top 16, you don't get in. That's all. I don't think.
Or how about top 20? You know?
Yeah.
I'm okay with a cutoff, but I bet you have to be ranked, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, that's fair on that one. But if they expand, and I know the answer is money, Bob, but if they expand to 16, God, get rid of conference championship games. They don't mean anything anymore.
Well, here's the other thing. This is why you said that, of course, they would be putting them on home sites. I haven't seen any of these proposals that talk about the elimination of conference championship games.
Right.
Even the 24 team that they said they were putting out there.
It's ridiculous.
What if we just started the playoff week 1 and everybody got in? And we use one of these FEI or SP Plus polls.
Yeah.
And number 1 plays 132.
Yeah.
And then 2 plays 131.
You just whittle it down that way.
How about this? Why don't they just do a midseason tournament?
The Big Ten Cup.
I've seen a lot of other places have success.
Yeah. We play 4 games. We take a 3-week break for the midseason tournament. Then we resume the regular season during Halloween weekend.
I just played 2 games in one day.
One of the midseason gets an auto bid into the playoff. I mean, there you go.
Sure, why not?
I've never heard this guy's name before, but the Syracuse athletic director, John Wildhack. It's a great name.
Is it real? Did you just make that up?
No, it's a John Wildhack.
Gene Parmesan.
He was I guess he used to be an ESPN executive. Has been at Syracuse AD since 2016.
Okay,
and he said that
obviously done a lot of things there that we know about.
Yes, clearly. He was saying there needs to be collective bargaining. Players should be getting paid, no question.
There you go.
Collective bargaining, there's new rules that have been bargained for. It's a legal document that everybody has the obligation, they're required to uphold. That's where we need to go. And he talked about a holistic reimagining of college football's calendar, which I know.
I love if you can ever work the term reimagine into something.
And holistic.
It sounds like you're really doing something important.
And so he was talking a lot about the calendar because of what happened with Lane Kiffin being able to go when he went and all that. Like, and somehow change the portal calendar and do that as well. And he said the final and perhaps trickiest piece to the puzzle is revenue generation. And I have very little confidence in them getting this, like something like that right. You know what I mean?
Is that what he says, or is what you say?
That's my opinion. Is
what you're asking, in large part,
yeah,
academic bureaucrats to try to solve a business problem.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's it. Most people that get into higher academia, like they've never, not all, but a lot of them have never worked in private industry. And so being able to look at this as an outside of the box and saying, hey, here's the problems, here's what we need to do. And it's never been, like they don't have to fully own, not always, but like in ADs do and like football coaches, people like that potentially do with hires and fires. But they don't ever have to fully own the consequences of their decisions. So they always make the safe play of what is the most convenient as opposed to reaching out and trying to actually fix something. Because in doing that, you may actually make it worse if you take like a big risk on it. And I say big risk, just drastically changing how everything works. It may not work. It may need to be tweaked and tinkered, as opposed to just saying, well, we're good. We'll just kind of deal with it here as we move forward.
Yeah, it seems like the more things have gotten, I don't know if better is the right word, but you know, the 12-team playoff has worked. That's improved, I believe, the way we consume the sport.
It has, but it also has brought to light some other challenges.
Right.
And things like with how long the season goes and the portal and everything else. So, yeah, it's worked, and from an entertainment standpoint, it's been good. The ratings in it aren't good. They're worse than they were last year.
They're worse than we were last. Okay, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Do you think that's because it's just drawn out too long, or
when you're playing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because
like,
they never go head to head with the NFL. Obviously,
and so like your off night, it's just that's what I'm saying. I think more is drawn out, and it's like what nights you're on and when it's happening. Are people still interested? Like you go look up now, they're talking a little college football, but so much. I mean, last year I was down in Atlanta for the game, and all of the daytime coverage was all about the wild card weekend or divisional round weekend. You know, not about the game that was happening that day.
Coming up next, we'll tell you who's got his juice. Morning Juice.
We are the keepers of the wild, America's original and most invested conservationists. For more than 80 years, we've been committed to conserving wildlife and the natural landscapes that define our nation. From rugged alpine ridgelines to peaceful tall grass prairies, we've supported the conservation of more than 36 million acres of American wildlands. Our funding has led to cleaner water, fresher air, and improved wildlife habitat. From abundant fish and waterfowl populations to robust deer and elk herds, nothing is more important than maintaining wild spaces for adventurers to explore and wildlife to thrive. We are America's hunters and target shooters, stewards of the American outdoors.
America's hunters and target shooters, along with firearm, ammunition, and archery manufacturers, have invested more than $46 billion to help state fish and wildlife agencies manage and protect wildlife and wildlands across America. For more information, visit outdoorstewards.org.
You know what hope is? Hope is action. Carving a path forward, even when it's hard.
And kids who still know how to dream. They're the best pathfinders of all.
So at Child Fund, hope means helping millions of children living in poverty worldwide to grow up healthy, educated, skilled, and so all those good things can come true for them, safe.
And that means safe at home, safe at school, and safe online.
Hope means walking this path together, all of us. Because when we work together, we can do so much more.
That's right. Hope includes you.
Child Fund, because we need each other.
To learn how Child Fund works with children in 23 countries to help them achieve their full potential, visit childfund.org. That's childfund.org.
Once there was a man who couldn't stand.
A mom who couldn't wait.
A scientific community that said it couldn't be done.
And then you.
And then I.
And then we.
Brought neuromuscular disease into screaming color.
with the Muscular Dystrophy Association.
For 75 years, our voices have thundered through the halls of Congress.
We've willed the impossible into existence. We've pushed the science,
raised the funds,
shifted the narrative,
and transformed the reality of life with neuromuscular diseases.
For 75 years, we've built communities together.
established the field of neuromuscular medicine, and made it thrive.
Call that a legacy.
Call it impact.
Call it momentum. Just call it ours.
Because it's the generations of community heroes that give MDA the strength we have today.
And until neuromuscular disease is a thing of the past, you couldn't stop us if you tried. Join us and celebrate 75 years of breakthroughs at MDA75.org.
Bobby played for the Dallas Cowboys. Tito wears assless chaps.
I'm dead sexy.
You're locked into Morning Juice.
Final segment of the program. Thanks to all chatters today in the Juice chat room. Always love hearing from you.
Yeah.
Let's do what's got us juiced.
What's got you juiced?
Bobby.
Oh boy, what's got me juiced? Well, we had a lot of games this weekend, a lot of events. Had some meet Friday night. Had nothing on Saturday. Burgundy, if I'm not mistaken. We had 3 basketball games yesterday and a wrestling meet. Everybody did pretty well, one more than we lost, and so that's always a big deal, and it's always nice. And then also, this was the 25th anniversary of The Lord of the Rings being released, I think the initial one, so, or maybe the final, I don't know, whatever it was. But we went and watched, my oldest and youngest son and I went and watched all 3 of them Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night. So I got, the last night's one was about 4 hours and 20-minute runtime. Oh, my gosh. I mean, I got a solid 11 hours, 12 hours of movies in this.
That's great.
12 hours of movies in. Plus some NFL football, plus some coaching and some games. I got it all, man. Got it all.
It's like Kevin coming back in. Kevin, how was your weekend? Awesome. Watch 15 hours of television.
Yeah. It's basically what it was. Last time I was sitting there, I was like, man, this is long. And I enjoy it, and I've seen it, but like it was cool for my kids, especially my youngest one, to get to see it in theaters. He was pretty excited about it. My wife goes, so wait. She says, you're going to see you went and saw all those movies that you've already seen, correct? I'm like, is that a question or a statement? She's like,
judgment.
It's a question. She's like, they're not any different, are they? I'm like, well, they're all the extended editions. We have the extended editions. You can watch those and rent them now. I think I actually bought all those back when you used to actually download and stuff from like Apple Music and Apple Movies and things. But
legally?
Yeah, no. You do it through. You would do it through I downloaded plenty of illegal stuff, but I'm not. That was through all of them. But I go, there may have been a couple other things in there that were new, but not a significant amount. And then the worst part is trying to remember which parking garage I parked in over at Easton at the end, because they went to the Saturday one. We did Friday at the Lennox, Saturday, Sunday at Easton. Saturday because the Lennox only had 7 p.m. showtimes. I'm like, I want to be able to watch the playoffs.
Yeah.
They had a nice 2 o'clock window that I could get in and get out, come back and watch some NFL football, and that worked. And they're like, Dad, this place is great 'cause it's got recliners and everything else in there. So I was like, all right, let's go out there. And they had an earlier start last night. So 6 versus 7 o'clock when you're talking about a 4.5-hour movie, that
makes a difference.
Matters.
Yeah.
It matters, even if I've got like a 15-minute drive on it. But then it was offset by my having to walk through 2 different parking garages to try to find my truck. So there you go. What's got Schleig's juiced?
Oh, I'm going with the Browns. I'm going with the Browns. But I'm going to pick the Chiefs because I need the win.
You're going with the Browns, but you're picking the Chiefs. Who are you actually picking then? I mean, which way are we rolling here?
I'm picking the Chiefs.
Okay, so you pick the Chiefs to win by more than 10 points.
No, but I'm picking the Browns in my heart because that's what I want to pick, but I'm down 4 games. You play to win the game.
Yeah,
I'm down 4 games. So I'm going to pick the Chiefs so I can beat the General. But in my heart, I'm going with the Browns for sure.
The battle
to win.
inside of the war.
No, bump it. I'm just going to pick the Browns.
Okay.
I don't care.
So you change your mind.
No, I can't do it. I got to go with the Chiefs.
All right, lock your pick in.
Chiefs! Ah,
Okay.
crap. I'm sorry I said that on the radio. Browns, I hope you win and I lose.
All right, so you're going with the Chiefs by 10.
He's like Schmeigel. Like, the back and forth with him was
In his own
amazing.
mind.
In his own mind. Just all in there.
Ping pong.
And the best part about what happened was I took the Browns plus 10. He took the Chiefs because he had to, because he was down 4 games and there was no other way for him to catch me. The Chiefs won, but the Browns covered.
Yeah, I was going to say, if I remember that game correctly.
Yeah, so he lost on both fronts.
Just all around losing. What's got me juiced today, guys, was definitely juiced about watching the NFL playoffs over the weekend. Kind of 2 games were kind of mad. The Seahawks game, obviously. I went to bed at halftime at that one because that one was over. The Pats game wasn't too exciting either, but last night's game was great. Was very appreciative for the 6:30 start time on that one. That way I was able to stay up and watch the end. And then the Buffalo game between them and Denver was fun to watch on Saturday. My heart goes out to all the Bills and Bears fans out there. The Bills obviously had a pretty rough go of it, basically in their franchise's history. And the Bears, I mean, it's been 40 years now since they won a Super Bowl, and I can sympathize with any fan base who kind of just get your teeth kicked in the postseason like that time and time again. That can be pretty gut-wrenching. What also has me juiced, on Saturday, before the games got going, I watched that new Bruce Springsteen movie.
Oh, was it good?
It was okay. It was...
Have you seen, like, did you watch Bohemian Rhapsody?
Yes, and that's exactly what I was going to say. It doesn't get into his music as much. It's just kind of more about, frankly, like he kind of had some mental health issues that like he was like fighting through. So I like Bruce Springsteen, and I really enjoy his music. So I wish they'd like kind of gotten into it a little bit more, because that's what I was expecting. But it wasn't a bad watch. I wouldn't tell you like it was amazing, but it's like if you like him, I would check it out.
If Bohemian Rhapsody, which I think is one of the great
I love that movie,
biopics ever done, if that's a 10, what are you giving this?
6.
Okay.
Yeah. Because really,
did you watch the Elton John one or any of the other ones?
I have
or
not.
Elvis?
No, I've heard Elvis is really good, but I haven't
Elvis
seen
is
that
great.
one.
That one's really good.
It's kind of slow. I mean, it's okay.
This movie's pretty slow as well. And like, frankly, outside of Born in the USA, it doesn't really get into a ton of the songs.
His music, right?
Yeah. Frankly, it gets into like, so I'll admit, like I like his music, but I mostly just kind of know the hits. And frankly, it gets more so into, spoiler alert here a little bit, but it gets more so into why he wanted to do like this other album.
Nebraska?
That wasn't about the hits. So it was solid. I mean, it was a couple hours long or whatever. And like I said, if you like him, you can check it out, but wouldn't tell you to go out of your way to watch it. But yeah, that all had me juiced. Saturday night, Tito. Huge game. Jaylen Brown, 40 points.
I saw it.
Hauser almost set a franchise record for 3-pointers. The Atlanta Hawks are not very good on defense, so that had me juiced as well. And juiced to, I'm going to try to stay up for tonight's game. Can't make a promise on that, but I'd also be okay if the Hoosiers really, really put it on them. Because A, I could go to bed, and B, I'm not rooting for Indiana, but I'm rooting against Miami.
Right, yeah.
So I hope Miami loses.
So I'm going to say this, and this is not, I don't want to come across as a look at me moment, because it's not. But something happened this weekend at Reds Fest, and I know you guys probably find this very hard to believe, but sometimes I go off script and just make a snap decision on how I'm going to do something. And what happened was, and I can't remember the first player we had on. We had the stage to ourselves. We weren't broadcasting live because Ohio State basketball was going on here. But we were able to talk to the crowd. Like we were up on a stage, and they were bringing people through. We were interviewing them. They all had microphones so everyone could hear what we were saying and all those kinds of things. Anyway, first player comes up, and again, I can't remember his name off the top of my head. But I decide, I see some kids in the crowd, splattering of kids, and splattering is not the right word. Smattering of kids. Splattered kids would be much different. Anyway, and I see a kid had a big smile on her face and looking up there, and I motioned her to come up, and I let her ask a question on the stage with a guy. And then a couple of the kids want to come up, and I just let them come up, and they'd ask the question, go back to their seat. I found out how old they were, where they're from, that kind of thing. Say, hey, here's so-and-so.
Who you play for?
Right. So anyway, after I did that, I was it was suggested I don't bring any more kids up, and I said, that's fine, no worries. But the one girl in particular, and she's an 8th grader, Chillicothe, swimmer, smile lights up a room. And usually the players and executives go right off the stage when they get done and go to the back, and you like they wouldn't do autographs or things like that. But I kept letting this girl. I would motion to her when we were about to get done with the interview, and she would come up and get on the stage and say hello to the person, ask them a question, and get a picture with them and things like that. With every other player. Anyway, afterwards, when I'm getting ready to leave, she comes over. She's an African American girl. Like I say, she's 12 years old, 13 years old, maybe. Anyway, she comes up to me and she said, "Hey, my mom just bought a pizza. You want to have a piece of pizza with us?" And I said, "I'd love to. I get back. I'm coaching basketball." And I said, "You were so good today."
Here's
and
my number.
I gave her my
Contact
Twitter.
me one of my other social media.
Listen, she gave me a big hug and said, "Thank you so much for today. This was one of the best days of my life." And then
Uncle Jeffrey.
So I was
second most famous Uncle Jeffrey.
And the next morning I wake up and her mom had found my Facebook name, my Facebook profile, and sent me a friend request and sent me a nice long message about how much she appreciated it. And I told her, "Hey, look, I'm glad I could do a small thing for her. I'm glad she enjoyed it, everything." And then the mom proceeds to tell me the story of the background. The parents are white, and they're an older couple. And her mom said that when they were fostering kids now and then they get a call that there's a 6-week baby at the hospital, and the mom had left after giving birth shortly thereafter and left the baby there.
Jesus.
The mom was her birth mom was a drug addict. They thought this girl might not make it. She comes out addicted to drugs, and then they thought she would never walk, and said, I'm not sure if they'll ever talk even. But they brought her home, and through tons and tons of therapy and lots of time and things like that, now she's this thriving athletic swimmer. And she just told me again how much that she had to stop talking about this. And I can't tell you how important it was to her for you to let her do that. And she's going to keep me posted on how she does the swimming and stuff. And she knows my daughter's a swimmer. So, but anyway, nothing I did, as far as, it's not like first of all, I didn't ask anybody. I just did it. So it's not like I asked for permission to do it. But I love when something like that makes an impact on somebody. And so that's got me juiced that I've connected with this family now. In this day and age with where society's at and all the things that are wrong in the world, I hope all of us can find something small to do for someone else anytime they get the chance to do it. So I'll be rooting for her. She, so it was very.
That's awesome, Tito. Seriously.
Thank you. It was very
Joking
powerful
aside,
for me.
That was very cool.
Thank you. Yeah. So
Good job out of you, sir.
Thank you.
And Bobby and I made fun of you for going to Reds Fest last week. Look at you.
That's what Mom said. It's weird how fate sometimes.
Yeah.
How it happens that they happen to be there the same day. It's a 3-day Reds Fest, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I happened to be there at that time and just happened to see her in the crowd and see how excited she was. And she came up and talked to Francona. She talked to Nick Kroll. Probably gave him better advice than I gave him. But so it was a lot of fun. Anyway, that had me juiced. So. Anyway, thank you for tuning in today. I appreciate it. We all appreciate it over here at the Fan on Morning Juice that you guys tune in with us every day. And we're back tomorrow. It's a Schlegs Day.